Committee will come to order. As this hearing is fully virtual, we must address a few housekeeping matters. For today's meeting, the chair or staff designated by the chair may mute participants' microphones when they are not under recognition for the purposes of eliminating inadvertent background noise. Members are responsible for muting and unmuting themselves. If I notice that you have not unmuted yourself, I will ask you if you would like the staff to unmute you. If you indicate approval by nodding, staff will unmute your microphone. I remind all members and witnesses that the 5-minute clock still applies. If there is a technology issue, we will move to the next member until the issue is resolved, and you will retain the balance of your time. You will notice a clock on your screen that will show you how much time is remaining. At 1 minute remaining, the clock will turn to yellow. At 30 seconds remaining, I will gently tap the gavel to remind members that their time is almost expired. When your time has expired, the clock will turn red and I will begin to recognize the next member. In terms of the speaking order, we will follow the order set forth in the House rules, beginning with the chair and ranking member. Then members present at the time the hearing is called to order will be recognized in order of seniority. And finally, members not present at the time the hearing is called to order. Finally, House rules require me to remind you that we have set up an email address to which members can send anything they wish to submit in writing at any of our hearings or markups. That email address has been provided in advance to your staff. Good morning to our panel. I am pleased to welcome the Chief of Capitol Police, Tom Manger, the House Sergeant at Arms, William Walker, and the Architect of the Capitol, Brett Blanton. Thank you for being with us today. None of us will ever forget the events of January 6th. The Capitol was attacked by violent insurrection. Lives were lost in the days and weeks following. 140 police officers were assaulted. $1.5 million worth of damage was done to the Capitol. And the lasting impacts of that day continue to be felt across the Capitol complex and our community. How we remember and respond will determine how we collectively learn from the trials and mistakes that day. As we move forward, we do not want to fall into the trap of preparing to fight the last war. Rather, we must thoughtfully plan to ensure the next one never happens. Ignoring the mistakes of the past or refusing to learn and grow from them will only continue to leave the Capitol campus vulnerable to unknown and unexpected threats. A lot of important work remains to get to the bottom of what happened that day, and I commend my colleagues on the Select Committee who are engaged in that very important work. The purpose of this subcommittee and this hearing specifically is not to litigate the facts of that day. Our purpose today is to review where we are 1 year later and what changes have been made since January 6th, 2021, and to look ahead as what is still needed to keep members, staff, visitors, Capitol Police, and all employees on campus safe. In May 2021, the House passed a comprehensive security supplemental bill with significant investments in the Capitol Police, security improvements, and member security. But after inaction in the Senate, a slimmed down compromise bill was agreed to in July of 2021. Unfortunately, this included only $300 million of earmarked funding for the Architect of the Capitol, for windows and doors and new security cameras, and $70.7 million for the U.S. Capitol Police salaries, equipment, and other expenses related to the January 6th insurrection. In all, the short-sighted version that could get support from the Republicans in the Senate did not include other items, such as backfilling the funding reprogrammed away from other vital activities in the aftermath of the attack, funding for security screening vestibules, landscape architecture, and retractable security barriers to protect the Capitol complex, and resources to improve member security and security in district offices. Today, I hope you can provide updates to the subcommittee as to how Capitol Police and Sergeant at Arms are currently protecting the campus and its workforce, and to talk about the next steps to ensure the future physical safety of our campus. What changes have been made to improve the safety of doors and windows? What plans are in place to ensure a mob cannot again overrun access points in the Capitol? What efforts have been taken to recruit and retain additional Capitol police officers? Simply, how is the Capitol a safer place to work 1 year later? This subcommittee is interested in hearing about both how those supplemental funds are being spent and what gaps remain. On top of that, I need you to address the consequences to the safety and security of the Capitol complex if the FY 2022 regular appropriation is not enacted. As you all know, the continuing resolution runs out on February 18th, and there are those who believe it is better to punt instead of doing the hard work of funding the government. What are the repercussions to the legislative branch if the 2022 bill is not enacted and we are stuck with a continuing resolution at FY 2021 funding levels? I look forward to your answers to the questions I have raised, and I want you to know that we are very thankful for your service and that of the staff of your organizations who work so hard to make this House run. At this point, I would like to yield to my friend and colleague, if she is here, Ranking Member Jamie Herrera Butler, for any opening comments she would like to make. And if not, Mr. Newhouse.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me okay?